So, how in the world do you regulate something that's moving faster than the law can even keep up? That really is the billion-dollar question with AI. In this explainer, we're diving into a powerful idea from author Sebastian Wallace that asks, what if we've been trying to solve the wrong problem this whole time?
And this quote right here, it just nails the problem perfectly. Think about it. Regulating AI isn't like regulating a car, where you have time to pop the hood and see how it works. It's like trying to saddle a running elephant. It's massive, it's powerful, and it's not just moving fast, it's getting bigger as it moves. Any rule you make today, yeah, it could be totally obsolete by tomorrow.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with why the old rulebooks are totally failing us. Then, we'll explore a new, much simpler approach. We'll zero in on the three most urgent places we need rules now, see how the world is actually doing, and then wrap up with a clear path for, actually saddling this elephant. Okay, first things first, the moving elephant problem. Why is this thing moving so unbelievably fast, and why are our old playbooks just completely useless against it? Just take a look at this. This curve is everything. With technologies like the internet or even the telephone, we had a gradual adoption. We had decades for society to get used to it, to adapt. With AI, that entire timeline has been squashed from decades down to months. We just don't have the luxury of wait and see anymore.
And trust me, this pace isn't slowing down, not a chance. Why? Well, because it's the new gold rush, plain and simple. Companies are betting their futures on it. Countries see it as a matter of national security. Billions upon billions are being poured in. Nobody's tapping the brakes, everyone is flooring the accelerator.
Which puts us in a really tough spot, right? If the tech is always going to be 5 steps ahead of any regulation we design, what's the move? Do we just throw our hands up and give up? Or do we need a completely different way of thinking about this? And that brings us to the core argument, the big idea. Instead of trying to control this wild, uncontrollable thing, maybe we need to shift our entire philosophy. The proposed solution is almost shockingly simple. It's a principle borrowed straight from medicine. First, do no harm. So, instead of trying to write a 1,000-page manual on how to build AI, the idea is to draw one single bright red line. Go ahead, innovate, build, experiment, but the second you use AI to cause specific, identifiable harm, that's when the rules kick in. This chart lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way, trying to micromanage the elephant, controlling its every step. And on the right, you have the new way. Just build a fence. We don't care how the elephant roams around inside the pasture as long as it doesn't trample the village. See the difference? It's about regulating the bad outcomes, not controlling the process. So, if we're going to build these fences, where do we need to start? What are the most immediate dangers? The source material points to 3 critical areas where the risk of harm is off the charts right now. First up, weaponizing people's identity. I'm talking about deepfakes being used for fraud, harassment, and just destroying someone's reputation. The harm here is direct and it's devastating. The solution isn't to ban AI image generators. No, it's to criminalize the malicious use of them with serious penalties, mandatory watermarking, and making the platforms take the stuff down fast. Second, and this one is huge, the integrity of our democracy. AI can create political disinformation on a scale we have literally never seen. We're already seeing it in elections all over the world. And again, the solutions are pretty straightforward. If a political ad is AI generated, you have to say so. If you use AI to mess with an election, the penalties have to be severe. And the platforms have to be held accountable for flagging this stuff. And if you need one number to really grasp the scale of this problem, here it is, 90%. By 2026, which is just around the corner, Europol estimates that nearly all the content you see online could be made by a machine. Think about that. Our entire information ecosystem, what we think is real and what isn't, is about to be turned completely upside down.
The third battleground is our critical infrastructure. When we put AI in charge of our power grids, our financial markets, or our hospitals, a failure isn't just a bug, it's a potential catastrophe. So the solution isn't to ban AI in these areas, it's to build in safety features that are non-negotiable. A human has to be in the loop, there has to be a kill switch, and we need to know exactly who is responsible when something goes wrong.
Okay, so this whole approach sounds pretty good in theory, right? But how does it actually stack up against what's happening in the real world? Let's take a look at the global report card. Here's a quick snapshot. The EU gets a solid B.
Their AI Act is comprehensive, but it's a little bit like trying to control the elephant's every step. It might just be too slow to adopt. The UK gets a B+. They're taking a more targeted, pro-innovation approach that hones in on specific harms, which is a lot closer to that building fences idea. And then there's the US, with a C. Let's talk about why.
The issue in the US is what the source calls policy whiplash. In less than 2 years, you can see the approach swing wildly from a focus on safety under one administration to a focus on deregulation under the next. This kind of instability just creates uncertainty, and it makes it impossible to build a consistent framework to prevent harm.
So, with all that in mind, what's the actual path forward? How do we really get that saddle on this moving elephant without getting completely trampled?
The way forward seems to be what's called adaptive regulation, and it's built on 4 key ideas. 1. Go narrow and severe. Don't try to regulate everything. Focus on the worst harms and make the penalties really hurt. 2. Be adaptive. Build sunset clauses into every law so they have to be reviewed and updated. 3. Go global. Coordinate with other countries so bad actors have nowhere to hide. And 4, maybe the most important, actually enforce the rules. A law without teeth is just words on a page.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. The core idea is to draw those bright red lines around the harms we all agree are unacceptable, to find what AI absolutely cannot be used for. And for everything else, let it run. Let innovation happen. Let the market figure it out. And let society adapt, just like we always have. Which brings us right back to where we started. That elephant is moving, and we can't stop it. But that does not mean we're helpless. The challenge isn't about halting progress. It's about steering it. It's about making sure that as this incredible technology reshapes our world, we have the guardrails in place to protect what really matters. The only question is, are we building them fast enough?